What's up everyone, Sigs here, and today we're going to be continuing and hopefully finishing our playthrough of this relatively new roguelite dungeon crawler, in which we take on the role of a healer to heal our MMO-style dungeon party through increasingly difficult dungeons. And to that end, we are going to be taking on the final level today. This level is very difficult. I have tried it 2 times. First time I failed on the last boss because I didn't know what the mechanics were, and the second time I failed because I got a really bad build. But I do have a build that I think is going to work really well for this that I'd like to show everyone today. So first of all, I will just show you what I have unlocked here. We have some upgrades, nothing crazy. But a little bit of extra help, a little bit of extra healing. I do have all of the spells unlocked, which is good, so these are eligible to be obtained during our run, and we're going to hope that we get the right ones, which I will explain as we go. I do also have all of the potential party slots unlocked, which makes it a little bit easier to re-roll for the group comp that you need, which we will quickly talk about now. So we'll go into the level. And what we're looking for this build is, first of all, the Cleric. The Circle of Healing seems to be really strong because it can heal and do damage at the same time. So that's really efficient. You can defeat the enemy packs quicker to get more done before you run out of time, while also keeping your group alive, so you don't have to take time to direct heal people and not be doing damage in that time. Really efficient, really useful. However, in order to make it viable, you want a party of all melee characters. That way everybody is grouped up at all times so that you can hit everyone with every cast of Circle of Healing. So we want a melee tank. The tankier the better. Usually a bulwark is good, but we'll go with the knight, that's fine. And we want 3 melee DPS is the main thing. So what you can do is you can enter the map and then you just leave the map and it'll re-roll all of these characters, and you can just keep doing that until you get something that you want. I could keep doing it until I got the bulwark and better melee classes, but it just takes a long time sometimes, so we're hoping this is going to be good enough for this run. We definitely want the Cleric, we want the tankiest tank we can get, and our 3 melee, we're going to use the Reaper, who I do very much like. He does magic damage even though he's melee. And then the Spell Sword, who does both magic and physical, which is useful. And then our last slot is going to be the Berserker, who's going to do all physical. So that gives us a magic, a physical, and a split hybrid class. So it should make it easier to gear everybody up, always have useful drops being used. I'm not super high on the Berserker, to be honest. This ability where he's going to do more damage if his health is low is good, but it's risky letting him get to low health, and with Circle of Healing, I'm basically passively healing him at all times. So he's probably not going to do the most damage, but he fits our comp with our 4 melee players plus ourselves. So this is what we want, and we're going to get into it. Now, right off the bat, we're going to have 6 minutes here to clear this floor by finding 3 chests and getting 3 map fragments, and then finding the exit. If we don't do it in time, that's fine. We just don't get bonus resources, which we do definitely want so that we can get as built as possible for these bosses. Have our first pack here. We have incredible RNG right off the rip with 2 chests right next to each other, so we'll go ahead and send everybody in, and we'll just press our Circle of Healing. This is going to do damage to the enemies and heal my group at the same time, and you can see this is super efficient. Now, for what we're doing here, we want a couple things for this build. We want some kind of direct heal for mostly the tank, just in case the Circle of Healing isn't keeping up with all the damage that he's taking, so we can weave in some instant casts. Or sorry, some direct casts of larger heals, and then we do also want some instant casts that we can weave in emergency situations, or so that we have something we can use on the move. So that's what we're looking for. Greater Heal works for that, but I really want Flash Heal because it's the quickest, largest heal that we can do. Now, I'm going to banish Healing Stream because I'll never use it. And Dispel could be useful in certain situations, but our class comes with Mass Dispel, so we're probably not going to use it. I'm not going to banish either of these in case I don't get anything better later on, but I don't want to pick either of them. I'm just going to pass and take the extra hearts and then look for the pieces we do want. So, pass. We'll finish off this pack. I'm going to move Mass Dispel out of the way. Start the animation on the chest here, see if we get anything good. Okay, so these are a couple of okay abilities here. This is really good because you're going to be spamming Circle of Healing with this build all the time. so a reduced mana cost. Oh, I'm sorry, I misread that. I'm thinking of a different ability. This is my third run in a row, so you have to forgive me if I'm a little frazzled. But this is going to make anything that costs 0 mana decrease the mana cost of Circle of Healing. I don't have anything that costs 0 mana right now, so I'm not going to take it now. But if I do get something later, this could be good. And these are both just kind of instant cast things that you can cast on the move. Pretty rare that I'll ever use these in combat, but it is nice to pre-shield your tank before fighting a boss, so he can go a little bit longer before he needs a heal, allowing you to DPS more at the start. And this is just some nice passive healing. You can do the same thing, put it on the tank before the pull, allowing you to go longer before you need to switch to direct healing him, allowing you to spend more time doing damage. So these are both decent picks. I'm going to take the shield for now, and we'll move that over to here. Oops, it's bugged out. And here, okay, 2 instant banishes. I will never use either of these shadow abilities that are going to take health away after I use them. And this is not a very strong heal, but it has a couple things going for it. So number 1, it can be used while moving, which is always good to have. And number 2, it costs 0 mana. So like we were just talking about, if I can get this combined with the 0 cost spells, reduce the mana cost of Circle of Healing upgrade, that's very good. And on these longer boss fights, when mana starts to get pretty low, you want to have at least something you can cast. You need to not be casting for 5 seconds for your mana regeneration to kick in. However, spells that cost 0 mana don't count against that. So I can have my full mana regen while doing some healing. So this actually becomes very useful, and therefore I am going to take it and not have it show up on my bars, which means I need to go into my spell book to get it. Hopefully I can do that quickly while I move everything around on my bars and move over to this next chest. So I'm running on these Cursed Remains. They're going to do a couple casts that are going to hurt, but there's only 2 of them, so it's fine. And see what we get here. Wow. So right off the rip, this we never want because we want this to cost 0 mana for the reasons I just mentioned. So we're actually going to banish that. This is okay. I will only ever really use this right before a boss fight. It's a nice little damage amp at the start of the fight, but this is our direct heal that we want. So we'll be taking that. And the only other things we're looking for here are the instant heal and the hammer heal. So we'll see if we can find those, but in the meantime, this build is coming online very quickly as we also find our 3rd chest right off the rip. So we'll get in on this pack, see what we get here. This is kind of just free healing on myself. Pretty unlikely that I ever get benefit from that. This will increase the damage that it does, but I very rarely even use this for damage. And this is a bigger absorb if I use it to save someone who's low, but I very rarely do that. The only time I'll do that is if somebody's so low that I don't think I'll be able to get the heal off in time to save them, then I can buy myself more time with this. So it does have some benefit, but typically I'm only using this on a pull, like pre-pull, before we're actually fighting things, to give the tank a larger health bar essentially. So probably get a little more value out of this if I'm ever totally out of mana and I can essentially, you know, get some free healing on myself while healing other people who need it. So we'll pick up that. Get super lucky with our 3rd chest here. I need to get some quick direct heals on the tank because I'm not paying attention. And these guys need to die quickly because their damage is going to ramp up over time, as you can see from this debuff here. So we finish off that pack. And we get 20. Oh yeah, this is perfect because again, really you're only using this when you're out of mana and don't have anything else to use. So under 35% mana, and it's faster and has more crit. That's great. We'll take that. That'll help out on bosses when we run out of mana. And the exit's already right here, so we could go down and get a big bonus to our hearts with the amount of time that's left. But I think we'd rather just farm some more enemies to maybe get some more drops that are worth more than the hearts. So that's what we'll do. We'll take out the healer first. They're usually pretty weak and they go down very quickly. And you want to kill them quick so they don't keep healing and prolong the pull. And then we can deal with this guy who's starting to do some good damage with his aura, but we can counteract it with our AoE heal. And I don't want to stray too far from the exit. I want to make sure I can get back in time, but we can probably farm quite a bit more drops here. So we'll send everybody on the caster so that the melee guys come over to the caster, keep everything grouped up in one nice pile so that the circle of healing hits everything. we weave in our flash heals on the tank as needed as we spam Circle of Healing. Here, this is more what I'm talking about. I'm pretty much always going to cast this pre-pull to give the tank a bigger health bar, so a 25% bigger shield is nice. And I will very rarely ever use this at full mana, so that's useless. Decreases the heal, but each cast increases the heal by 50%. So if I end up spamming this because I'm out of mana, then it becomes a lot stronger. But it's pretty unlikely that I'll do that. I'm considering taking this because it's blue quality, it's less likely to appear again, and this is pretty marginal and it's only green, so I'm more likely to see it again, but I will use this on someone at full health more than I will be spamming lesser heal when I have no mana. So we're going to pick that up, we're going to move and cancel our cast, which is not what we wanted to do. Keep the tank healthy, and finish off the last guy here. So we're just going to keep farming. Gotta let my mana come up a little bit, so I'll just let these guys do this pack. This is where I could be casting this, because again, it's not going to impact our mana regeneration, because it doesn't cost mana. And typically here, I don't need to get everyone healthy by the end of each pack, because they'll heal to full out of combat. I just need to make sure they don't actually die. Whoa, so right here, this is bad. This level is pretty tough too, because there's a lot of healing reduction, as you can see, that's going out right now. We have a 15%, 17% stacking healing reduction, making it very hard to keep people healthy. So again, as long as he doesn't die, it's fine. I can spend the rest of the time DPSing here, because he's going to heal up very quickly out of combat, and that'll save us some time against the timer. This will refresh a hot. I don't have any hot, so I don't need it yet. Above 85% mana, I'll almost never use it. When it's cast, it'll also cast on the next 2 most injured party members, but it costs 100% more mana. That's pretty good. I don't love the mana cost, though. It's very rare that I would use this, and it's very rare that anyone besides the tank would be taking damage in the instance that I choose to use this. So honestly, these are all pretty garbage. For right now, it's almost worth passing for the hearts, but I will just take this in case I pick up a hot later. And we'll keep farming. We got lots of time, so let's avoid that. You know what? I can come over here. I can drag this skeleton in, get it all grouped up together. Oh boy. A lot of damage going out on the Berserker, which makes him do more damage, which is nice, but I don't want him to get solo that he dies, so keep those direct heals on the tank. We'll keep spamming the Circle of Healing to speed this up. We are out of mana now, so that's where we resort to using this lesser heal. And we just hope that this pack can get finished off before anyone goes down, because if they go down, we have to res them, and that eats into our timer a lot. Now, a couple minutes left. Still want to use that time to try to get more than I would otherwise get from finishing the level early, so we're looking for a shop here. Let's get it back on the caster so it's nice and grouped up. Spam our Circle of Healing. Should do all the work for us on a pack like this. Bloodsucker is going to fall over at the end. And this is not really anything we want. Now that I have Flash Heal, I don't need this. I could banish it so we can maybe find the instant heal that we want. Again, very rare situations I'll use this to buy time, so that has marginal benefit, and then some free healing on myself if I'm ever out of mana and multiple people are missing health, which is also rare. Kind of a toss-up between these two right now. We'll just grab that and move on. Wow, I see a chest over here, so that could have some good drops. We're going to send it on the Bloodsucker as less health, get it out of the picture ASAP, and then just get going on the Decayer before the Agony ramps up too much. Probably just want to use Flash Heal, be a little bit quicker to save some time. Start the chest animation so we can pick this up. There's our... Oh, we already had the map fragments, that's right. Minute left. Is that a shop right there? I can't quite tell. Whoops. Well, we're gonna be going this way anyway, so in a little bit of trouble here. These casts hurt, and we are taking 75% reduced healing. There it is. That's what we want. This is a great ability. We want to pick this up too, just for Circle of Healing spam efficiency, but this is the last piece of our build right here besides the hammer, so we want that. I always put that on R, which means I'll put this on V. 75% reduced healing taken, really not good. That's why we want to just kill these packs quickly. I could be mass dispelling it off, but that costs a lot of mana. Okay, now we're getting a little risky here because here's a shop that I do want to check out, but I want to get to the exit in 30 seconds, so we need to be quick on this pack, like very quick. I will burn some mana just to speed things up by using instant, boom. I don't think we're going to make it now. I probably misplayed this, but we'll see. So quickly going to see what we have. This is a great ability, but he already has it, so we just sell it. And this is physical. This is better. So this guy, you can see these abilities do both physical and magic, so he'll double dip. He'll basically get 22% from this, so that's good. This one can just go on the Reaper, who does... See, who's doing more damage? Yeah, the Reaper is doing a lot more than the Berserker, so we'll give this to the Reaper for his magic damage. This can go on me rather than the tank because of the magic damage, and this physical damage is not going to be for anyone right now. So, mana potions we always want to stock up on for boss fights. We always want at least one Scroll of Heroism for boss fights. We don't want any ranged spells like these two because then they're not going to be stacked. Retal is very good, so we're going to take that. What it's going to do is if our tank gets low, he's going to start stacking this, which will give him damage reduction. So that's when you want damage reduction the most. So that's very good. And we only have one heart left. So what we're going to do now is try to make it to this exit in 23 seconds. If I need to pop this speed scroll, I will. It's looking like I will have to. Ooh, okay, good. We get a free one here. That should be enough to make it. Yeah, I really hope so. Around the corner. Should be good. Cool. So we finish in time. We get the bonus hearts. And we will prepare for the boss here. So let's grab the loot. Let's check out the shop. Okay, there we go. There's the Light's Hammer. So this ability we really want. And increases the cast time, but increases damage. I don't like increasing the cast time since it's mostly for healing people, as much as I love the increased damage, so we don't take that, but I will take the hammer. Works very well with this strategy because we're often, again, all grouped up in melee, so this is very likely to hit everyone, and it's an additional instant cast spell that's going to be able to be woven in amongst the casts to provide a little bit of burst healing when needed, so very good so far. This is going to be a little bit of crit for our spell sword just because we don't have anything better. Physical damage increase, magic damage increase, crit chance, magic resistance, damage reduction taken, physical damage reduction taken, increased health is what all this is. So we'll throw this on just anybody. I guess the Reaper, just for some extra defense. I don't want to put defense on this guy because if he takes more damage, he does more damage. I want to put enough defense on him that he doesn't die, but not enough that he's not benefiting from missing health. None of these abilities we can use, so we sell, and we have our mana pots for this fight anyway. We could always use more. We have our Heroism Scroll, but we could always use more. Rend is an okay ability, a pretty decent bleed. Can't really afford anything here. This would be good for the fighter. 10% extra damage for only 80 hearts. This would be okay for me, okay for the tank, and this would be okay for the tank. I think I want the ability because we see a lot more item drops than getting like the absolute correct ability. So, and I could really only buy one thing here, so that's fine. We'll buy that, throw it on the Berserker for physical bleed damage, and we'll see what this boss does. So this first boss here, let me pick this up, is the Dark Master with 80,000 health. So what he'll do is he will do shadow damage to a target, hopefully the tank. We just heal the tank if needed. He'll do a volley on the whole group, which I can easily heal through a circle of healing. And lastly, he will teleport, most likely me, to a little side chamber. In that side chamber, there are 2 Crypt Guardians with 2,000 health. So not a lot of health, but you need to kill them to get back to the boss to heal the group. So hopefully I can just take them out with 2 Circle of Healing casts. Usually might take 3 if I don't get a crit. And then I could also just use instant heal to kind of snipe one of them if needed. But I want to kill them as quickly as possible so I can get back to the group. And I want to make sure that at least the tank is at like full health, maybe with a shield to buy some more time. before I get teleported, because if I get teleported and I can't get back in time to heal him and he goes down, then everybody goes down and we lose the run. So pretty simple boss. We are going to pre-shield the tank, send everybody in, pop heroism scroll 1 second before they use their abilities. I'm just going to spam as much damage as possible right at the start, and then use a couple of my charges so they start regenerating. I'm getting teleported away, so I'd love to refresh shield, which I did, and then we will do circle of healing. 1, 2, and then a hammer slam will get us out of here. Boom. Couple hammer slams, get us out of here. And we're low on mana, so we'll pop the pot. Probably should have done that a little bit earlier, but it's okay. Gotta get back to our tank. We'll instant heal him on the move as we approach. Make sure he's nice and healthy. And we'll just get back to circle of healing to heal through these volleys that are coming in. We are now out of mana again, which is a bit of a problem. So we're just going to use our very cheap, free, efficient heal to let our mana regenerate. And before he does the next teleport, we just need to get everyone healthy. Here comes the volley. We'll try to time it with this circle of healing. Here comes the teleport. So tank needs like topped. Get the absorb on him. And then we go. Now the boss should probably just flop over here. Yeah, good. Okay, so I mean, I'd say I managed that about as well as you could. Could have used my mana pot earlier. But, you know, you can see this build works quite well for this. So not a bad boss. It's just a matter of making sure your tank is healthy enough before you get teleported away to not run into any trouble. While we have some free time, we'll take a look here. No point in using this because it's a ranged spell. We want everyone stacked. This is just going to go on me for the magic damage and crit. And this is not better than what the spell sword has, so it gets sold. And we go on to floor 2 here. So again, 6 minutes. Want to try to farm as much as we can in that time. Couple of kind of scary enemies on this floor we'll go over when we get there. Caster pack, we everybody in, ideally to the one farthest in the back, get it all grouped up, spam circle of healing. Probably need to weave in an instant cast on myself here just to be safe, and finish it off with circle of healing. Summoner's going to keep summoning enemies, so the quicker we can get rid of them, the better. Wow, that was a big AoE hit on everyone. That was almost tragic. Take just a small breather, let everyone's health and mana come up as we see what we can get here. Yeah, this is exactly what we want. This is typically used like as an oh shoot emergency. Immediately need to heal someone, so we're going to get a lot of benefit from it critting because they're going to be missing a lot of health, so this is great. It's exactly what we want. And we're going to hopefully have everybody heal up and have my mana come back as we go into this next pull. I really want to focus the low health ones first, just get them out of the picture. Like so, and then we can worry about the guy with more health. Like so. So yeah, this is building up damage over time, so we can't let him live for too long, but it's typically fine to just heal through it with Circle of Healing. And we want to start hunting these chests. I'm not sure what the best way to go is. Everybody's going to go in on the healer here. There's our exit, which is nice. Spam the hammer. We want to get at least one caster killed before the first cast goes off whenever we have caster packs. And I need to hard focus this one now, everyone please. There we go. And finish off the Decayer before the agony gets too high. Out of mana, but that's okay. I can do this for something to do. That free spell comes in clutch in those moments. Okay, we got a couple choices here. So we have our direct heal, so we don't need this. Decreases the amount. Okay, this is the one where it ramps up over time, which again, I'm not usually spamming it that many times at low health. I'd rather the first heal just do the full amount rather than 50% less and then have to heal 2+ times for it to do more. Clear casting can be very useful though, especially on long boss fights, so we're absolutely going to pick that up. I have a feeling that may save us later. And we'll see what we have here. Wow, huge tanky ring with a little bit of crit we'll just throw on the tank. And no spells, but we could get Vamp Strike, very good. Molten Smash, not great, and Range Spell, not great. I think I want to prioritize getting, wow, it's 200 hearts. What is it? Shadow damage? That would be good on the Reaper. It would give some good passive healing to him. It wouldn't be bad on the tank for the healing, but because it's magic, it's not going to, you know, he's physical, so he's not going to get as much benefit out of it. I am almost wanting to take that ability, but I typically heal everybody enough with Circle of Healing to not have to worry about them healing themselves, and I need to make sure that I have a Heroism Scroll and enough mana pots available for every boss, so that's going to be the priority there. This is okay for something just to put on the Berserker, and this is okay for something just to put on the tank, just to have more physical in DR. I'll just grab this, I'll throw it on the tank, I might move it around later, but we want to make sure we get at least some piece of gear on everyone. Now we have our exit here, which is wonderful, but we do need to find all of our map fragments still, so probably do a loop and come back, see if we can get the chests along the way. Send one on the Farcaster always. I'll focus this absorber first, and just make sure we get these summoners down before we get overwhelmed by skeletons, and we should be good. No problem at all with this pack. Pick up the loot, let our mana regenerate, and head straight into the next pack. No chest there. Okay, again, get on that back farthest healer. I'm gonna start early, just doing damage, and let's everybody focus the same target. There we go. Focus this guy. Just gonna snipe him with that instant heal, is good for that as well, and finish off the Decayer while counteracting his agony with Circle of Healing. Nice and easy. Okay, so this is really good without even talking about the other ones. This is okay. I say I'm not going to talk about it and then I talk about it. This is okay because when I do run out of mana, I usually spam this, and this costs 0 mana, so it's going to reduce the mana cost of Circle of Healing, so it'll make it quicker to where I can then cast Circle of Healing again, so that's not bad. This is also kind of okay, just because it's a free, I could cast it back to back sometimes, but this is really good because it's going to do damage and healing, and then the healing is going to also do additional damage, so it really buffs this up. If I could stack this with the ability where I can get more charges on this, then this becomes very good because it's instant cast, and I could weave it in with Circle of Healings for some extra burst damage and healing. So we're going to take that. We're going to go the long way around to find these chests. I'm a little bummed I'm not seeing any. Oh, well, there's one. So we're actually going to just put the skeleton in to the farthest caster. Oh, this is going to hurt. Yep. Need to spam the Circle of Healing. Yeah, this is getting a little sketchy. We're going to need an emergency heal on the tank. Throw out the hammer for a little bit of extra burst. This guy is super buffed. This cast is going to hurt. But we did. Okay. And we get another shop here, so we can take a peek. Could pick up a couple things. That's not an upgrade. No spells. Sell that. We get, wow, an 18% physical damage ring. I think I just buy that and throw it on the Berserker and forget about needing a ring on him. This is also pretty good physical for the tank, but we want more damage reduction on him. Don't want any of those spells. We have at least one Heroism Scroll, so yeah. This is pretty good just to get that slot locked down. Might find something better later, but it's not super likely, so rather just have that and hopefully be done with it. Now we could look in there for chests, but again, we'll take the longest way around. Make sure we're not missing a chest maybe in this back corner. Volley's gonna go off, it's gonna hurt. Have to counteract with Circle of Healing and maybe snipe one of these guys with the instant heal. Anyone? Okay, we like this one. This one's useless. This is okay, actually, because like on a boss fight, if I go out of mana and then I pop this, and then I go out of mana again, and I have a chance to reset it again because I'm spamming this that costs 0 mana, that could be good. But a flat, essentially 5% damage reduction at all times because of how often I'm using Circle of Healing is great, especially to counteract the reduced healing received. Damage reduction is like one of the best ways to do that, so this is amazing for this level. So we'll take that, weave in some of our burst damage with the hammer, snipe that guy with the instant heal to save some time, and try to find some chests here. Then we'll get rid of the little weak guys first, like so. And I'll probably just snipe this guy, hopefully. No? Wow, he's living for a while. Jesus. Make sure everyone's hitting him. Finish off the big guy. Move on. There's got to be a chest in here somewhere, right? This is insane. I guess we're going for this pack. Really sketchy. I'm going to start pre-casting from farther away just to make sure we get him done. Everybody's got that 75% healing reduction, so I'm going to mass dispel it and then instant heal the knight, who still is going to go down. That is rough, man. I think I did everything as good as I could there with the precast and the mass dispel and the instant heal, and he still went down, so that's scary. Additional 50% from physical damage. I don't want to wear physical damage, so no value there. The same thing we talked about before, where it's going to do damage, which is going to do healing, and then the healing is going to do more damage, but 25% more is pretty good. I don't hate the hot, just to have another thing to cast while moving, and we can kind of use it on the tank pre-pull to allow more time before we have to really start direct healing him. But I will go with this for now, and we may pick up that refresh ability later. Now I need to wait for my mana here so that I can res the knight. And we lose a bit of time on that. And we still don't have our chests. Is that a chest there? What am I looking at? We were already there. Oh, that was the first chest we got. So I think I just saw one here. Yep. So we have to get this, and we have to somehow get back to the exit in a minute 20 while finding another chest on the way. Double Decayer pack. Agony's going to really ramp up. So we just make sure in one target. It's a lot better to have one enemy at 100% and one dead than to have two enemies at 50% doing double damage. I'm going to start the animation on the chest early to save time. I'll just snipe him with an instant heal and make our way back towards the exit and really hope we see a chest on the way. Yeah, this is rough. I'll clear out this pack, hopefully quickly. It's a pretty scary pack, honestly. If these bolts all hit the same person, they really truck. Yeah, Knight's going to need some help here. So that's what the instant heal's for. We can weave in some hammer blasts. Let's see. Crit chance on a target below 35% is already what we talked about. Definitely something we want, so we grab that. Finish off this pack, and then I don't know if we can find a chest. Wait, we need two chests? We didn't get a map fragment from that last chest? This is wild. So, we had really good oh, there it is, I just didn't pick it up. I mean, we had really good RNG on that first floor where we farmed a lot extra. I don't know that we farmed enough extra to compensate for not getting our bonus 100 hearts from this level, but we got as much as we could. See if we can maybe sneak in like one extra drop from this guy before this timer expires. Probably not. Okay, well, we did not get our bonus hearts. Hopefully that doesn't bite us in the rear end later. We'll see what we get from this chest. No new abilities. See what we got in our bag. Magic Sword 30 meters don't use. Chaos Strike. I might as well throw it on someone. It's good to just have more abilities so that like if these two are on cooldown, he has another one that he can use because that's going to do more than basic attacks, I'd imagine. This is not... This is literally exactly what we have equipped, so we disenchant that. People are missing rings, so this would be good for the spell sword, again, because he can double dip on the physical and the magic damage. This would be good for the spell sword as well, because he can double dip, and nobody else can use this. And this is just straight magic. It's going to go on the tank for now, just for the 6% physical reduction. Even though he doesn't benefit from the magic, it's better than nothing, so... let's see what we got. Strike, which I would buy just to have an extra ability on the Berserker, but I think I'd rather save the money. We don't want that ability. Wow, big tanky helmet, which he does not want. The Berserker will actually make him do less damage. This is okay because of the 9% damage, but for 160, I don't know. You know what, there's really nothing else, so we get that and we get the extra mana pot. We have our heroism scroll. We throw this on the Berserker, and we take a peek at this boss here. Okay, so this boss is called Splinter Fist. He has 80,000 HP, and all he will do is attack the tank, which I can heal through. He will throw a bone at a random person, which I'll heal through a circle of healing, and then he will summon Splinter Bones. Now, these guys will walk in 4 at a time from the edge of the map, and if they get to the boss, they will increase his damage by 10% per stack. So it can get out of hand pretty quick if I let too many of them in. Basically, let me see real quick. They have 300 health, so they go down by almost anything. What I can do is try to time a circle of healing to go off right when they all get to the boss, but before they touch him, to just get them all at once. If I can time that right, Otherwise, I could snipe them with the instant heal. I can use the hammer to do some AoE and hopefully hit multiple of them and just one-shot them with this. So we have a few options. We basically just need to beat the boss before we let too many through and get his damage amp to be too high to where he starts killing people. So we're going to pre-shield the tank, start walking in, send everybody to attack, and then heroism scroll 1 second before abilities go off. Burn a couple charges early on our charge abilities so they start regenerating. Now I need to time this just right, which I already messed up. Oh, he got all 4. Oh boy. So we're gonna burn mana to speed this up. See if we can time it right this time. Want this to end right when all 4 are in there. Alright, we got 2 of them, I think. Yeah, he's getting beefy though. I'm messing this up bad. Keep our tank healthy. We'll use clear casting so we can go out here, spam our hammer. Boom, boom. That works really well. Okay, good. And we are out of mana, so we're just going to use lesser heal to recoup enough mana to use the hammer on this pack. Yep, good. Got them all. And that was enough time in between for the boss's buff to get lower. And there you go. So, not a bad boss. I played that horribly. If I time the circle of healing correctly, then it just will clear each wave over and over, and the boss never gets extra damage, and then it's really easy, but we got it done. So, this ability I like a lot. The increased cooldown isn't great, but I'm often sitting at max charges and only using this really when I need it. So the fact that it can accumulate more charges and then I can have more available when I need it seems to be valuable. This is also not awful. It's actually really good for nuking bosses. I would love for this ability to come up again later, maybe along with the crit scalpel ability for the last boss. And I should just take it because it's epic and I'm more likely to see this again than this again, but I will just go with the hammer hit here, as it's going to be better in more situations. So we will take a look at our bag while we have a paused timer. We have no upgrades in there, and this spell is actually okay. It's magic damage, so it'll need to go on the spell sword, and it will leave, it'll do a big blast on all the enemies, which should help to speed through some of these packs as we go through to floor 3. So pretty tough floor here. Again, a lot of healing absorbs, a lot of ramping damage we have to watch out for, and we really need to farm as much as we can for this last boss. So let's go in. We got double spiraler here, so these guys put these clouds on the ground. I'm gonna burn through some mana early just to kill these as quick as possible before we get spiraled out of control here. Can do some healing on everybody. Tank's gonna need a little direct heal. He's living forever, my goodness. Spam the hammer and let's move out of this, everyone, please. Okay. We can dip in here. We can buy a heroism scroll so I don't have to worry about making sure we have one for the boss. We need to find some gear for people that don't have all their slots filled. We don't care about any of these abilities right now. That's not an upgrade. That's not an upgrade. It's a good ring. I'm buying this ring. 11% damage and 4% crit on me. We'll take that all day. And we'll grab this one too. I guess, I don't know, it's only crit on the Berserker. We don't want more health on the Berserker because then when he takes damage, it's a smaller percentage, which amps his damage by a smaller percentage. So we'll just grab the mana pot. We're probably good with 5. I don't want the last boss to take long enough for me to even need that many, but rather have too many than not enough. And we'll move on here. Send everybody on the casters to get a group up. We're going to mass dispel this. Oh boy. Ooh, it's getting spicy here. This is Doom, so it's going to do... oh, why were you not... Oh, no. Bad things are happening. Whoa. Okay. Here comes another one. Let me just deal with this, and then I'll explain. So that's going to do a massive tick of damage after 12 seconds if we don't defeat the skeleton that cast it on us. So 2 ways to deal with it are to just defeat the skeleton before it expires, or I can mass dispel it. So usually I defeat the skeletons in time, no problem, but I do often like to mass dispel it just to be safe, because it is a lot of unnecessary damage. Okay, so we're in the middle of a very pivotal moment here where I'm going to need this cast to finish, and then I'm going to need to instant heal the knight so he doesn't go down, but we do have some abilities here. Never want to reduce the damage on it, so we don't take that. In fact, I'll just banish it. An extra 5% DR on circle is actually great, and the cast time of your next spell other than flash heal is reduced by... Yeah, so Tailwinds we love because if the tank gets low, we can switch to direct healing him, and then it'll make our next circle cast that much quicker to heal the group. So it's just a nice synergy between going back and forth between these two spells. But I am going to take just the flat DR, and then we're going to need to let this cast finish and then save the night with instant heal, I guess. Boom, boom, like that. Okay, that could have been bad. Here comes another Doom. Tank is down, but I'm not super worried about it. I am out of mana. We don't need to dispel this Doom because the skeletons are dead. We just need to res the tank, which is a bit of a loss of time, which we don't love, but we got through the pack, and that's really all that matters. So let's keep moving on. Still have not found any chests. There's not one over there, so I'm going to start ignoring packs until I can find the chests. Split this pack quickly, get everybody in. Need to kill them before they all cast on me, which is going to hurt like hell. Circle of healing should be enough healing for just this. We can weave in a couple hammer hits just to speed it up a bit. Let's go, guys. Come on. Finish that last enemy. Good. And we'll dip into the shop. That's full of poison. See what we picked up. Okay, perfect. I mean, 4% DR isn't great, technically, but we like the physical damage and the crit. No new spells. Holy Hand Grenade we won't use. Wow. That's pretty good at 16% for our Reaper. 160 though. Oof, this is big DR for the tank. Well, it's only 1% more physical, so I think what we do is don't care. See, Reckless Strike is good for the Berserker because he'll take more damage and then do more damage, but it just runs the risk of him dying, so I'd rather he have something else like maybe this. We do need to get spells on people though, because, okay, it's just not showing. I have a UI error. I was going to say, didn't we get spells on people already? I hope that means that they're casting them. It's just a display error. Okay, there you go. Now we see them. Okay. Yeah, so he already has an ability. We want a fourth, but we don't need to worry about it too much. I'm going to grab this because 16% extra damage on our Reaper is very nice. And hopefully we can find a new magic ability for the Reaper too. But we need to get a move on. Still no chest. There's a chest. Good. Okay, so we go to the farthest caster. I'm going to start at range. Uh-oh, I need to get out of this. I definitely need to get out of this. I'll use instant heals. I just wanted to nuke those casters before anything got out of hand. Typically, you don't have to move out of that circle because it's going to move away from you pretty quickly, which is nice. And this is the other ability we want. It's the same thing with the hammer, where it takes longer to give you charges, but I love what's called when it's needed, because that's literally when I use these abilities, is when I need them. And when I need them, I'd rather have a lot more charges than less, and just let the charges accumulate all the times I'm not using it. So this is perfect. That's exactly what we want. I'm going to finish off this guy quick. Again, don't need to move out of this because it's going to move away from us very quickly. I'm going to do just a quick out of combat heal to make sure we're healthy. And we do need to start cruising as we're halfway through the timer and only have one map fragment. Just start looking around different directions. I'm going to try to drag the skeleton into this phaser pack. And I'm going to stay at range and pre-cast because we want to kill at least one of them before all of their casts go off multiple times on somebody. Wow, barely saved the night there. I'm going to get in and use the hammer for damage. Get that last phaser dealt with. Good. Okay. Feeling a little unlucky with chests here. We do have a new shop, so we can at least check out. Let's get everybody in. On. Whoops. Got a Steam overlay. Random pop-up. That's not good. It's actually really bad right now. Jesus. Got a spam circle of healing. Do an instant heal on myself because I'm getting a little scared. Weave in some hammer hits to speed this up. And there we go. Okay. Check out the shop. We don't have a ton of hearts, but... Ooh, wow. This is big for defense, but I can't put it on my tank, so that's too bad. This I could put on my tank, and I absolutely will. He's losing some crit, but more physical DR and way more physical damage? Sure, it's kind of a no-brainer. And then this is not better, so sell. Vamp Shield is nice. We'll throw that on the tank. If he gets low, it'll keep him healthy, which we like. And what do we got here? I think we're good on mana pots. Not an upgrade. That could go on me just for some survivability, but I don't benefit from the physical. This is a good ring for nobody compared to what they already have equipped. So, and we don't want any of these spells because they're all range. Speed Scroll, you know what, we're going to grab this just to get DR on me. I'd rather buy that now and make sure I have as much DR as possible, damage reduction. Although ultimately I'd like a plus magic damage helmet. And we're going to buy these speed scrolls for the last boss, which I'll explain when we get there. But we need to move. We need to find chests. Thankfully there's one there. Send everybody in on the little enemy. Get him dealt with quickly. Spam our hammer for some extra damage. And go back to Circle of Healing. Let's see, decreases the amount of... Okay, this is the ramping one we don't care about. This I don't like, because to have to stand somewhere for 10 seconds to get the full benefit, even though we often do, I just feel like it's not really worth it. And then this is great. This is going to allow me to spam Circle of Healing a lot more with 30% reduced mana cost every other cast. That fits right into our build, so we'll take that. And finish off this guy while I loot the chest, please. Perfect. That's our second fragment. Really need to find this third chest, and there it is. So let's go. Everybody in on the casters. Need to kill them before the doom goes up. Spell it. I think I'm just going to try to nuke them. I will... Yep, good. Okay, so we don't have to worry about the doom because they're dead. We'll use circle, keep everyone healthy, and just blast this guy down. Get our last map fragment, which will show us that the exit is right there, which is nice. So, for as worried as I was, this is now ending up pretty well here. So, still got a full minute. We can farm. I'll try to take out a couple more packs. This pack is going to hurt a lot. I need to throw some instant heals in. Need to weave some hammers in. Okay, good. I think we're stabilized, mostly. What do we got? 5% chance to make your next absorb cost 0 mana, not very good. Yeah, I'm going to use this on the tank pre-pull, so an extra 50%. It essentially extends his health bar by that much before I have to heal him, so that's good. Hit him. Alright, he'll heal up out of combat. 40 seconds, nice. An extra chest right at the end. Let's go. Let's scoop all this. This pack's going to hurt again. Need to weave in some instant heals and some instant hammers. Another instant heal. Back to circle. Uh-oh. I'm going to need to flash heal him. Flash, heal. I'm going to go That's okay. Pick up the loot. Get the last little bit of loot, and we'll just leave here. I could get greedy and maybe try to nuke that last pack, but we're going to leave with our bonus hearts. And we're going to defeat this last boss, I really hope. This will be my third time fighting it, so let me just get set up for it real quick, and then I'll explain the boss. Reduces the effect, but increases the effect of your next spell. No. If I use it, I want it to be a big heal. Heal myself for 100, and an absorption of 100%. So again, I'm very rarely using this under 30% HP, but I'm even less using this to heal myself if I'm using it at all, so I'm gonna grab that. Take a look at what we got. Take a look at the shops. We got, wow, a ton of magic resistance for our tank, yes. We have magic damage for me. Yes, I lose some health, but I'd rather do more damage. Good ring for someone who doesn't have one at all. This is, oh, wow. Is this the one I just took off? No. Okay, it's less magic, but it's more health and more damage, so we're going to take that. Damage is going to be important on this boss. It's going to end up basically being a DPS race. Although before I mess something up, I want to kill the boss before I mess up is what this is going to come down to. But not at the sake of losing that much on the tank, so we don't use that, and that's not an upgrade. So we disenchant. We check spells. That's a ranged spell we don't care about. This is nice damage reduction if it crits. Versus this only gets cast, either of these only get cast if they have low health. This is a purge. It'll remove a magic effect, but I don't think this boss has any. It's kind of a toss-up, honestly, between these two. This does more damage, though, so we're going to keep that one. And we're going to see what we have here. Okay, I already have 2 heroism scrolls. I already have 6 mana potions. I won't use either of those spells. Fat health ring, but we don't really want health. That's not an upgrade. Not an upgrade. Yeah, I mean, it's better than nothing. I should have checked the other side first, but at least he has something on now. And let's check the other shop. Okay, yeah, very marginal upgrade. If I don't have anything else to spend it on, I'll buy it. That's not an upgrade, even though it's epic. This is not an upgrade. Not an upgrade. Range spell. It's an extra attack for someone who doesn't have 4, so let's go with that. Let's go with the... Can I get both? No. I mean, this is such a marginal upgrade. It's 2% damage, 2% DR, and 5% crit. I mean, I guess it is. I was just going to do an extra heroism scroll to kill the boss quicker. But if he crits enough times, that's probably better. I don't know. That's what we're doing. What if I sell it? No, I still don't have enough. I don't have anything else I could sell, do I? Nope, cheap shot's going on him. Let's make sure that it's not just a display bug and that these abilities are actually going to get used. At this point, we have a little bit left over and we can't take it with us, so we'll do an extra speed pot, an extra mana pot, and an extra speed scroll. Okay, so let me quickly explain this boss. It's the Lich Magus. I've died to this boss twice. The first time, I didn't understand the mechanic. The second time, I just wasn't quick enough. So she's going to attack the tank, heal the tank, super easy. She's going to volley the group, heal through it with Circle of Healing, no problem at all. What she's going to do is these other 2 abilities, Unstable Magic and Chaos Magic. Unstable Magic, she's going to illuminate 3/4 of the map, and you need to move to the 1 quadrant that isn't illuminated, that's safe. And then she's going to do Chaotic Magic, which means the longer the fight goes on, she's going to keep doing this ability over and over. So instead of having to dodge once, I'm going to have to dodge twice in a row. And then instead of having to dodge twice in a row, I'm going to have to dodge 3 times in a row. So, and so on and so forth. So the longer the fight goes on, the more I run the risk of making a mistake and dying. Because if I get hit by one, it does a ton of damage. So I micro move my out of it while moving myself out of it. And I want to kill the boss as quick as possible, so that we don't end up in a state where I'm spending all my time dodging instead of dealing damage, which then ends up prolonging the fight longer, which means she's then doing more of these in a row, and it's just a vicious cycle. So when we go in, I'm going to pre-shield the tank. I'm going to remember to pop my heroism scroll like 1 second before they do their big damage abilities. Reaper still doesn't have any extra abilities. That kind of sucks. Can I move this on him then? No, I can't. He can't use it. Okay, well, whatever. Pre-shield, heroism scroll. I'm going to burn through a couple charges of these abilities instantly just so that they're off cooldown and regenerating charges for efficiency reasons. Then I'm probably just going to spam flash heal for the most single target damage as quickly as I can do it, just to start digging into the boss's health. I have to remember to use my mana potion as soon as I'm missing 1200 mana, so that the next one comes up sooner, leading to more mana over the course of the fight. I can weave a clear casting in. I should probably just use it on pull with the flash heal spam to buy me more time. I did not get the ability that could reset the cooldown on it, so I'm only going to get 1 use of it, so it's probably best used right at the start in the damage window, if that makes sense. So I'll try to do that. And then when she starts filling in the quadrants, I need to move out of them quickly, and that's what these scrolls of speed are for, so hopefully I remember to use them. Now, there's one thing I have to do here. I have to obviously hold... Well, I can use the mouse to move myself, actually. I was going to say, I can't hold W, Shift 3 to move my team at the same time while I'm holding my push-to-talk key. So I'm just going to go on, like, open mic here. That way I can have that finger free. I can also, right now I'm moving with the mouse, so I can move the mouse and Shift 3, click. Well, the click with shift 3, then I have to let go of the mouse, which means I stop moving. So yeah, give me just 1 second to change these settings. Okay. Mic check 1 2, mic check 1 2. Really hope you can hear me and that I have the audio level correct, or else I'm gonna have to throw out this whole recording. But we should be good to go here. So I'll explain it as we go. Let me make sure I get my opener right. We're going to pre-shield the tank. We're going to send everybody in. We're going to heroism 1 second before they do their abilities. We're going to use a couple charges of our quick abilities. Oh, over here. See how 3 of the quadrants lit up? We are going to Circle of Healing to compensate for that volley that went off. We are going to move everybody over here. We are... Oh, come on, guys. Get out. Oh, God, thank God. We're going to clear casting so that I can spam Flash Heal for massive damage. We're going to remember to mana pot early. We're going to need to move everybody over here. And we're going to be ready to move again. We're going to keep them near the middle so that there's less distance to move if needed. We're going to try to do as much damage as possible. Move. Good. Okay, I need to start regenerating some mana here. Just do efficient heals. We're safe here. As long as I move, we're okay. I'm gonna speed pot. Gonna move everybody over. Want to stay near the middle so we don't have to move as far. God, I need to get heals on the tank though. So we're gonna mana pot. We're gonna spam him. I need to do another Bloodlust Scroll. Need to Circle of Healing. Come on, please don't die. Circle of Healing needs to heal the whole team. I need to get ready to move again. I need to watch my mana. I need to be ready to move. We are moving. We are speed potting, we're moving. Come on, guys, move. Good. Stack up for heals, get ready to move again. We are healing because we're out of mana. We are moving. We are mana potting, we are moving. Move, guys. Jesus, why are they not moving? Tank is down. We are Circle of Healing. Oh my God, we did it. Oh, holy shit. This is like sad to admit, but my heart is fucking pounding right now. After 2 hours of trying this, well, 3 hours now, I did not want to fail and have to ever do that again. Okay, not bad. I probably panicked more than I should have. It's really an easy dance if you just keep in the middle and keep moving. But, you know, it does take a while, and that volley damage starts to add up, so you gotta have the mana to be able to heal through it. And I burned a lot of mana trying to do damage to speed it up, which I think was the right call. But we got through that with the skin of our teeth there, so... hopefully, again, with the mic settings I just changed, I'm still audible, but that's it, I think. Yeah, I was almost thinking there'd be an extra floor, but that's it. We got the achievement. Oh, what did we just unlock? What is this? Is this another level? Oh, no. Dude, I thought that was the last level this whole time. There's literally another level. Wow. Okay. Well then, we'll have to do another recording of this tomorrow to finish the game, but that was a challenge, man. That was really fun. These other levels were cool. It's like a cool game with cool mechanics and all that, but they were pretty easy, to be honest. That was tough. So let's spend our upgrades real quick. 1,800. I think just more health for people. I'm getting scared with how much damage people are starting to take. Honestly, I probably should have spent that on more healing for myself. Makes the most sense, but it's too late now. So yeah, that is the Shadow Sanctum, which I thought was the last level, and it actually isn't. And we will pick it up some other time with the Necromancer's Lair, I suppose. Why don't we just pop in just to see it, even though I'm going to do a whole other video on it. I don't know why I'm dragging this one out for no reason. Spooky in here, goddamn. Alright, well, that's that. Hopefully you found that useful. Maybe helps you with your runs if you're trying to beat that level. And that's all for now. So, I've been Sigs, but for now I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. Y'all have a good one. Take care. Peace.